We're getting more news about the next gen Xbox, particularly the next gen handheld, and I'm obsessed with it because I think the future is handhelds. I think the future for Xbox is Game Pass, and I think handhelds fit perfectly into that. I have played, for those of you who follow the channel, I have the PlayStation Portal. I think it's amazing. I think it's awesome. I think it enables me to game more than I otherwise would be able to, and I think that's why the future is Xbox handhelds. Well, we got some news of what it's like. We got some questions here that came up last week. Will it have an ARM chip in it? Well, Windows Central has some news there. Also, it looks like it's following the Nintendo Switch and it's coming with the dock. What do we think of that? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? We're going to go over all of that today. But before we do, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. My name is X1 the Gamer. We cover videos like this all the time right here. We've got daily live streams as well. It's an awesome Discord community. So all the links are in the description below. Follow us for more details. Follow us everywhere that we're available. Okay, let's jump into it. This is WindowsCentral.com. No, the next-gen Xbox does not run on ARM. Here's what you need to know. Could the next Xbox have an ARM chip in it? Here's what our sources are telling us. And I got to give credit to Jez Corden. His sources has been accurate so far, especially I'd say the last 3 to 6 months. It seems like he's really been putting to rest some rumors while confirming other rumors that do end up being correct. So well done to him in Windows Central. Again, go give them love, and a link is in the description below to this news story. Go give it some traffic. Well deserved. The next gen Xbox console offering is shrouded in mystery, but as we head closer to the inevitable big reveal, details are beginning to leak out. Recently, I exclusively shared that Xbox is working on Project Keenan in partnership with Asus, which is to serve as a test bed of sorts for its Xbox PC initiative. Microsoft wants the Xbox experience on Windows 11 to be as user-friendly as possible to help support a range of devices that might be more accessible to users who aren't used to or simply don't want the complexity that often comes with PC gaming. What are you talking about, you may ask? What complexity comes with PC gaming? Your PC Gamer Master Races here. Your PC Gaming Master Race players right now are yelling like, it's not that complicated. No, dude, it is. I'll give you a prime example. The ROG Ally my brother has, it is not plug and play. It is a portable gaming handheld device that is just not plug and play. When you load up a game there for the first time, you have to go in and tweak the settings to maximize and optimize the game for your handheld device. The beauty of a console is that it's plug and play. The beauty of a handheld console, such as the Nintendo Switch, is that it's plug and play. You don't have to mess with all of the settings in there. That's what a gaming handheld Xbox needs to have. It cannot be like the ROG Ally with respects to having to go in and tweak some settings to optimize the device and the game that you're playing on. It cannot be that. It needs to be much closer to the Nintendo Switch, and that's what we're buying for. That convenience is why the Nintendo Switch is so popular, as well as other gaming handhelds. I would say that's why the Steam Deck is dominating. It's a little bit more intuitive than, for instance, the ROG Ally with respects to that, because they have their own operating system, etc., etc. To that end, continues Windows Central, there has been some speculation about what the next-gen Xbox hardware might look like. From my previous reporting, Xbox next-gen hardware is targeting around 2027. It's unclear if that's for the full launch window or simply revealed at this time, but I expect it to be the launch window. It makes sense that it's the launch window. Honestly, I think he's correct here. When you just look at where we're at in current gen, when you look at the direction that we're going in 2025, I would imagine we get announcements of next gen in 2026, towards the end of 2026, and 2027 being the launch date. Either that, or we get 2027 unveil early, first half of the year, and the release second half of the year. It's going to all depend on how that goes. Regardless, if a handheld device is coming, I'm buying that day one. Day one. It just increases my game time exponentially. I could not be more excited. From what I understand, there will be a true Xbox handheld made by Microsoft. But wait a minute. I thought Xbox was having a handheld device. No, there's a lot of confusion around that. It's a third-party device. So ROG Ally, just like I said at the beginning of this article, ROG Ally is creating an official licensed Xbox device that is dropping later this year. Like Jez Corden says, he believes this is to experiment for Xbox to test some stuff for their handheld device coming in 2027. I believe the difference between these devices primarily is going to be UI and how that operates. But number two, in form factor, if you look at the leaked images that we get of the current ROG Ally, it does have the controllers on the side, but it's not an Xbox controller hands or form factor. I think the official handheld device will have the actual new, remember, we're getting a new Xbox controller form factor with a screen in the middle, essentially, is what I think that we're going to see. And I think rightfully so. That's what sets consoles apart. I think it's the best form factor for handhelds. I actually think the flat Nintendo Switch ROG Ally form factor just sucks. It just does. It's not that great. Additionally, he says, I'm expecting an Xbox Series S. From what I understand, he says there will be a true Xbox handheld made by Microsoft, complete with a docking station emulating the Nintendo Switch. Now, this has been the debate, and I think this is actually big news that is being underreported. This is almost a throwaway sentence in this article. But I think a docking station is huge. What does that upscale you when you dock on your docking station to 4K? How does that look? The Nintendo Switch has something similar where it upscales you to your television settings there. What is the power of this handheld? Is it going to be similar to the Nintendo Switch 2 that's dropping? The Nintendo Switch 2 price point is $499. I am of the personal belief that if Xbox wants to make headway in the handheld space, and I don't know that they do necessarily, or if this is just an option for them to sell more Game Pass subscriptions. I would think that they do. I think you got to compete with that $499 price point. I think it has to come in at that $499 price point. Remember, you're not going for power here. You're not going for power. You're not going to be the ballsiest device of them all. I think if you match the Nintendo Switch, that's good enough. That's all people want. You give me a Nintendo Switch device, Switch 2, with the ability to play Game Pass games on them, that's good enough for me. I do not need the biggest, best graphics. Let the Steam Deck, let ROG Ally, let those guys battle that out. I don't need that. I need something that is good, that works, and that enables me to play Game Pass games on this handheld device. I don't need to go balls to the walls. I just don't. That's what a console is for. Now, the next gen console needs to be balls to the walls. And if those price points that are being rumored are in the $800, $900 realm, it needs to be very balls to the walls. And that's what I'm paying for when it comes to that. So not the handheld. It's going to be interesting to see how that works. Additionally, he says, I'm expecting an Xbox Series X successor for those who want a more traditional console experience, potentially complete with the ability to sideload PC storefronts like Steam and Epic Games. Absolutely huge. We are living through a huge shift in gaming, a huge shift in the console space, and a huge shift in how we consume our games going forward. If you think Xbox is going to be the only one to do this, you're wildly mistaken. You watch. PlayStation's going to have to do something similar. They just are. That's the reality. We're living through this shift. This is further proof of that, and I think that's really exciting. Your Steam library, Epic Games library, maybe that's where the tweak comes in. It doesn't play as well as a native Xbox game does, and that's how they move you towards Game Pass, towards buying on the Microsoft Store, the Xbox storefront. It's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. Yesterday, continuing Windows Central, there was a potential new development shared by Thurrott.com with hints from Qualcomm's website. A job listing on the Snapdragon chip maker seems to suggest the firm is working on next-gen Xbox hardware with Snapdragon solutions. Thurrott speculated that this could indicate the next-gen Xbox hardware might have a Snapdragon chipset, which would be a pretty big step for Microsoft's gaming platform. Some job description details reads as follows: support the selling activities of next-gen on Surface and Xbox products built on Snapdragon solutions, identify and promote, this is for the job listing, business opportunities for Qualcomm in these areas, work with internal and external stakeholders to help define the next-generation Surface and Xbox portfolios. So this is why the rumor went out that Snapdragon is going to be maybe the next Xbox handheld. However, it doesn't look like that's the case. Our sources confirmed to me this morning, this is Jez Gordon saying, that the next Xbox systems, however, are not based on Qualcomm chips. There might be some third-party, quote, designed for Xbox, ARM-based offerings like the Logitech G Cloud, but the main plan from Microsoft, at least for now, is for the next-gen Xbox systems to have as much compatibility with your current library as possible. The overheads required to emulate games built for Microsoft's AMD-based systems are beyond what the Snapdragon lineup is currently capable of. So, what is this job listing then? Well, he says it's more likely referring to is ensuring that Microsoft's Surface device based on Snapdragon, like the new Surface Pro 12-inch, have better compatibility with Xbox PC apps, Game Pass PC, and Xbox Anywhere titles. As of writing, Microsoft straight up blocks your ability to download many Xbox PC games from the Microsoft Store on its Copilot plus PC range, which are based on Snapdragon chips. He concludes here, in my view, throwing next-gen hardware in the deep end on compatibility issues across thousands of games Xbox users already own is simply not a winning business proposition. So we're going to stay on AMD. It's not going Snapdragon. So that's what that rumor, it makes sense. I think it's logical. I think what he's saying there is true. I mean, does anyone have any reason? He's the insider. He's got the inside sources. And it makes sense from a compatibility standpoint that they're not going to shake up everything and that it would be primarily for their Surface Pro line there that does have Snapdragon and compatibility with PC Game and the PC gaming app, Game Pass, etc. So that does us. The biggest news there for me is the docking station. I am all in on the handheld device. I think that I think it's the future of gaming. I think it's the future for Xbox. I think it's absolutely huge. I think it molds gaming to my lifestyle, and I don't have to mold my lifestyle to gaming. And that's absolutely huge. I think that's why Game Pass ultimately is a big winner. Being able to game on any device that you own via the cloud or the Xbox app, whether it's a tablet, a phone, a mobile device, a portable gaming device, a console, a PC, a laptop, opens up limitless possibilities. And again, it enables me to have gaming mold to my life, not me having to change my life around to game. And I think in a day and age where we're busier than ever, there are more things vying for our attention than ever before. This is a logical path forward. I think it's the correct path forward, and I think it's going to be wildly successful. I would love to know what you guys think, though. What am I right on? What am I wrong on? Do you have any insight for our technical guys out there? What do you think of the possibility of Snapdragon? What do you think of what Jez Corden said here? Do you think that this is what's happening, that it would be very difficult if they were to go the Qualcomm route? Would compatibility be an issue? If you're a technical guy, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Again, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel. My name is X1 the Gamer. We drop videos like this all the time, and we also have a daily news live stream podcast show that happens right here on this channel, Monday through Friday. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.